Hey guys, it's Sunmin and welcome back to Your Money Game, the show where you get better with investing, saving, and today it's all about spending. Lockdown, circuit breaker, movement control order, call it what you want. But never before in the history of man has there been an enforced situation for so long where people have had to change their lives and change the way they spend. Now it's not been easy on a lot of us, especially if you've been impacted from an income perspective. But Winston Churchill once said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." Nearly all my friends are saying that they're spending less. And if you read all the articles, yes, they're showing you that most households, regardless of where you're from, they're cutting their spending. Now, while that's the obvious bit, very few people are talking about why. Yes, it's obvious that people can't move, that's why they're spending less. But what I'm referring to is active decisions that you have changed in your spending life, and you're not really sure why you've made those changes. It's almost as if we've been forced to become minimalist without really asking for it. So for those of us who think of those spending changes as a good thing, before we go back to some kind of normal life as the lockdowns all end, I've got 4 questions to help us dig a little bit deeper and reflect on what those changes are. By doing that, we understand those needs a little bit better and hopefully make some of those changes permanent changes to our lives. So let's just turn back the clock about a couple of months. When governments were starting to say, look, stay at home, don't go out. For some of us, we were like putting our hands on our head, going like, oh my god, what's going on? What's happening? So I want you to think back to that early period and ask yourself, what were the things that you were thinking about that you would be missing? What were the needs underneath those things? And then now, fast forward another couple of months later, you don't really miss it anymore. I'm pretty sure that if you give it enough thought, you'll find that there were some things that you really missed at the start, but then now at this point, not so much. Did your needs change? Did you find an alternative? Did you become a completely different person? So my personal example is actually the gym. In the first few weeks of the lockdown, I realized that I was aching to go to the gym, and I realized that I missed the weights. And the reason why underneath it is that the weights help me build certain type of muscles a bit easier. But when I asked myself, what is the actual reason that I want those weights? And for me, it turned out to be a cosmetic reason. I wanted to have the weights to build a certain type of physique a little bit better. However, those have kind of changed over time in the past couple of months. I realized that my needs from cosmetic needs have kind of changed towards being okay and being happy with the needs of just general fitness. I feel as if that whatever I'm doing right now at home is actually a pretty decent alternative. The next big question is, what are the deeper needs that you have that you miss? It's really a process of getting one level deeper to understand what exactly do you miss about those things. What are the underlying real needs that you're trying to fulfill? Now let me go through another example that I'm seeing so commonly in Singapore and in Malaysia across my friends. It's people are saying that I really miss travel. So the important question is, what is it about travel that we really miss? Is it escapism, where because we're confined, we feel that urge to escape? Is it the fact that we miss meeting new people? Look at Airbnb experiences. So what happened previously is these type of experiences can be bought when you go to a travel location. Now from the comforts of your home, you can buy these type of online experiences that lets a host take you through a learning journey or an experience journey online. And everybody that has seen the different type of initiatives feel that it's fantastic. And it gives us a way to have some of those experiences without having the need to actually go to the physical location. Therefore, the need that they're fulfilling isn't really the need to be physically there, but the need for some of us to really experience something new, to get insight into different kind of lives out there. You might be saying, yeah, that's Airbnb, they're a business. Why do I as an individual need to kind of look so deeply into my own needs? The reason is simple. The better we understand what our specific needs are, we can better fulfill them. So you might realize that, hey, my need to physically be at the location, it's actually a smaller need versus, for example, my need to meet new people, have new experiences, which is a larger need. And I could fulfill that large need in a different way. You might have found that, hey, there's a $100 solution to what was initially a $3,000 need. Or you might be feeling a compelling need to hit that like button. The next question is to look at what are some of the needs that you have that grew during this period. During this time, so many of us have adapted, we've changed, we've evolved, we've tried new things we've never done before. Now, from that perspective alone, to me it's immensely inspiring. But this has also resulted in us spending on different things. So one of my friends mentioned that there's this sudden urge to buy household items to furnish the house. Another has been using food delivery services almost on a daily basis. Now, on a superficial level, delivery services simply just deliver, right? So it's all about convenience. But if you ask yourself, is there a different underlying need that it's trying to fulfill? You might find a different answer. You might find that after looking at all the different type of orders that you've made, you might be looking really for variety. So another example from my life, what I realized is that during this entire period, I've been stress snacking quite a lot, and I'm not a snacker in general. So this has kind of caused me to be spending more money on snacks. That eventually led me to thinking, hey, why don't I just bake for myself? So lo and behold, I managed to bake some of these knockoff Famous Amos cookies for a fraction of the cost. But on a serious note, some of us are looking into perhaps how do we build up more emergency funds. On the surface, that sounds as if like we're trying to fulfill some kind of financial security need. In an interesting piece of research that I read, it pointed to the fact that there's a correlation between low amounts of emergency savings and high amounts of stress. That might sound like a duh kind of conclusion, but if you think about it, getting specific about what those needs are, whether it's a financial need or whether it's an emotional, psychological kind of need, really helps you to look for the right type of solution. Now that you've done the hard work of thinking of all that, all you need to do is sit back, look at them again, and ask yourself, hey, do I want to keep some of them? Maybe do I want to change some of them? Or you might not even want to make any decision, and that's fine. It's not about guilt, it's not about spending less. In fact, this might even result in you spending more. Again, it's all about having greater clarity to what those specific needs are, and then we can better fulfill them. So with the gym example, I'm actually quite surprised how open I am to cancelling my membership. The other two reasons that support that is I realized that I really value time. So the time that I spend commuting over there, I realized could be better spent in a different way. So for example, these videos that I make, hey, they take a lot of time, but they also fulfill a different kind of need that I have. So after balancing all those things out, I realized that I might be leaning towards cancelling my membership towards the end of this period. So enough about me, what about you? What are the realizations that you had about your needs? What will you be changing, if at all? Let me know in the comments below. So I really hope that this has helped you reflect on the different kind of needs you have, get more specific in what they are, which hopefully will help you make some better spending decisions moving forward. So I hope you got value out of this, and if you did, I would really appreciate you hitting that like, subscribe, as well as that bell button, because each of those things really helps my channel grow. So until next Sunday, keep playing your own game.